Hi kids, it's me, Mr. Frost.
And I'm Jonah.
Today, we're going to make a still life picture inspired by the art of artist Paul Cezanne. Paul Cezanne made a lot of still life pictures, like this one. Let's take a look at some of Paul Cezanne's pictures. Pretty cool, right? Now it's our turn to make a still life picture in the style of Paul Cezanne. It's pretty easy. All we need is something to draw with. We're going to use marker today, and something to color with. We're also going to use a cup to trace to make some of our apples. If you have one, you could use that too. All right, let's get started. We're going to begin by drawing a bowl with a line straight across the middle of our paper like this. Then we'll finish our bowl by drawing the U shape at the bottom. Add a little bottom part to your bowl, like that. And you can decorate your bowl, maybe with a stripe or some other kind of design. Now that your bowl is done, it's time to draw our apples. This is where we're going to use our cup. Now this solo cup has a small circle at the bottom and a big circle at the top. I'm going to use the bottom end. It's going to be the right size for these apples. I'll place my cup on my paper, and then I'm going to trace only around the part of the apple that's sticking out of the bowl. So my line stops where it touches the bowl, like that. Now let's add another one. I want to start overlapping some of my apples. So if I put one here in the middle, I don't draw where that one is overlapping the apples that are already done. Like that. Maybe I'll put another one back here. And I'll do one more up here. Now I have a bowl with lots of circles for my apples. Almost looks like an ice cream sundae, doesn't it? Maybe when you finish your apple still life picture, you could make an ice cream sundae picture using the same technique. I'm going to add one more apple down here next to the bowl on the table. And then I'm going to draw a line for my table that goes behind my bowl, like this. Stop when it touches the bowl, figure out where the line is going behind, and finish it on the other side, like that. Now let's add some details to these apples to make them really look like apples. For each apple, I'll draw a line that curves like a smile, and I usually put it near the top of the apple. And then draw a line coming out from there to be the stem of the apple, kind of like that. And some apples, I'll even put a leaf on there too. Now, when you draw these apples, put the part with the stem going in different directions to make them really look like they're just kind of sitting in that bowl. Don't forget the apple that's down here on the table. Now that we have our apples all drawn, it's time to add some color. I'm going to show you how to use some different colors of crayon to make these apples look really realistic. Some of the apples in our pictures will be mostly red, some of the apples in our picture will be mostly green, and and some of them will be red and green. I'm going to show you how to do this with your crayons. Let's start with a mostly red apple. I'm going to take a red crayon, and I'm going to color my apple on one side like this. You see how I'm adding a little bit of shading to help make that apple look round. Now I'll take a shade of orange and I'll color in the rest of the apple and over top of some of that red with the orange. And that will give us a mostly red apple. Now I'll show you how to make an apple that's mostly greenish yellow. I'm going to start with a light green color. And I'm going to do the same kind of shading from one side of my apple across the apple like this. Then I'm going to use a yellow green or a yellow crayon to color in the rest. Like that. And that will give us an apple that is mostly green. Now let's do one that is green and red. I'm going to start with the red again. Same way we've been doing. Some shading. But I'm only going to go about halfway this time. Now I'm going to go with some of the green on the other side, like this. And I want to put the yellow where they meet. And that will give us an apple that has both of those colors. So fill in the rest of your apples, making some of them mostly red, some of them mostly green, and some of them green and red using those techniques. When you finish coloring your apples, color the rest of your picture. Don't forget to color the leaves on the apples, the table, and your bowl. And there you have it, a Paul Cezanne inspired still life with apples, and some pretty realistic apples. Remember, you can send me a picture of your artwork to my email or by text message, and I'll include your still life in the video of student artwork that I post for this week. Well kids, this was our last art lesson together. Really miss you a lot. I hope to see you again in the fall. All right, take care. Bye.